Ladies and gentlemen, man invariably suffers from two addictions. Man invariably suffers from two addictions. The first one is the bottle. The second one is the woman. Fortunately or unfortunately, there is no way he can run away from his addictions. That's why I can see where there is no bottle next to a man, maybe there is a woman. That is really great. So the ladies in the house, you're welcome. The gentlemen in the house, you are equally welcome. In a special way, allow me to welcome all the gentlemen who are here. You know, being a man alone is a profession. Even before you go to school, to pursue any other profession. Being a man alone is a profession. You know, men were designed to manage, to convince, to manipulate, to direct, and to have control on almost everything. I'm proud to inform you that we have managed this role. So we have really done it without any question. You will find on many occasions we are excelling. There was a time a female friend of mine told me that you man, you have nice lips. You know, it is very uncommon for a man to get such compliments. It came as a shock. In fact, I even started blushing. But I told her, thank you so much for the compliment. In fact, your future kids can also have these lips if you are serious. So I was directly slapping it into her face that the onus to say yes square lies on her shoulder. She's the one to decide, and the ball is in her hands. I was surprised that 2 weeks later, she acted accordingly. That is the manipulation, and that's the control I'm talking about. There was a rich sugar daddy, I don't know if there is a poor one, who was having a chat with his girlfriend. And he told her that, you see, I was editing my will. And I thought of adding you on the list of the beneficiaries in case I die. But the only challenge is that I don't have a child. And it looks crazy and funny if I add you on a list of beneficiaries when you don't have a child. Now, the nigger stopped there. But you and I know what is currently running into the mind of a young girl who badly needs to be a beneficiary. But the condition is she must become pregnant and have a baby for him. That is a manipulation. When I was at university, I remember we had this beautiful girl who was exceptionally beautiful. Beautiful to the sense that none of us could even measure up to her standard. None of us could even have the self-esteem to approach her and say something. But because men are designed with self-esteem, I put myself together and I attacked. And by the way, I attacked successfully. So when I reached, I greeted her and I told her that she's exceptionally beautiful. I told her she's a masterpiece. Just imagine all beautiful words that you can use to praise a woman. But what is very interesting that these were the ordinary conversations that she was facing on a daily basis from men. So I wasn't saying anything new. But what I did, I went ahead to tell her that in addition to you being beautiful, there is something very terrible about you. And I'm very sure if you worked on it, you'd be an angel. Now she immediately got concerned, she gave me ears and she asked, what is it that is bad about me? I told her I will tell you next time. I'm telling you, she could not let me go. She said, you must tell me. You cannot tell me there is something terrible about me and you simply go away like that. Then I told her, I will not tell you everything in one day. So you wait, I will tell you. I became the hunted. And I got an opportunity to play hard to get. She looked for me until she finally got me after a few days. She just wanted me to tell her what was wrong. So I told her, you see, I know you may get annoyed, but I have nothing to do. I have to tell you the truth. The bad thing about you is that you snore at night. He said, get serious. Stop those jokes. How can you say such a thing? Who told you that I snore? In fact, I don't. She bitterly protested. And I also insisted, claiming that she snores at night. We had a hot argument over that, making an allegation while defending herself. So after that hot argument, we both agreed that to settle such an argument, she had to come to my room for a night, such that we either prove or disprove. And she came. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a wonderful night. That's the manipulation. Boys have come up with the new lines currently. When they see a girl moving, they approach with a new style. You'll be there doing your own thing as a lady, then all of a sudden a man comes and says, excuse me, do I have your number? You see, when a man approaches you and is asking if you have his number, it's a little weird. Your number for what? Do I even know you? Then these guys go ahead and ask, I'm surprised that you don't have my number. How do you solve your financial problem if you don't have my number? I mean, how do you manage life? Come on, get serious, write it down. In fact, give me yours as well. I want to assure you, it is very hard to resist a man who comes in such a humorous style. You end up giving him the number, even when you wouldn't. There are some new guys here who come with style. You see a lady, you greet her. After that, you ask her, are you planning to be busy in the next 9 months? Busy in the next 9 months. What runs into her mind right now is this dude planning to take me for a trip around the world in 9 months? Of course, she will say, no, I'm not busy, but why are you asking? What's the problem? Why do you want to know if I'm busy or not? I'm asking, are you busy? Of course I'm not. What is it that you want me to do? Then the nigga will tell her, you know, I want you to keep for me something for 9 months. I don't know if you're ready. Something that will be for both of us at the end of it. Those are lines. I know there are so many lines out there you guys use, but you see, those have been outstanding in town here. Like I told you, town is not for the weak-hearted. If you have to survive in the city, you must know the nitty-gritty detail, okay? There was a young man who had come from the village and he had spent 2 weeks in the city. He came running to me. I'm so surprised in the city there are people who take maize flour using the nose. So I had to sit him down and tell him that's not maize flour. Okay? That is something serious. Okay? In the city we eat raw meat. Now that you have come, you will get used. There were girls I was interacting with at one time, and I asked them an interesting question. I asked them if they would date a thief. They asked me, come again. I asked them, would you date a thief? They told me it depends. I asked them, it depends on what? They said, it depends on whether the thief is rich or poor. So now the discussion was not about a thief. The discussion had been shifted on money, whether the thief is poor or rich. Meaning that they are ready to go with anyone as long as he has money. But that's the city. Okay? By the way, it sounds very romantic for a man to rob a bank simply to spoil his girlfriend. I don't know how you spoil yours. But if a man robs a bank simply to spoil his girlfriend, it is super romantic. And by the way, women love men who are romantically crazy like that. One day try to rob a bank and spoil this girl. They love that shit. And by the way, women are ready to marry idiots as long as you make them happy. This reminds me of a story in school. We were having a lesson and one of the stubborn boys disturbed the teacher. So the teacher got annoyed and got a manila paper with a marker and he wrote, "I am an idiot," in big letters. So he handed over the manila paper, the placard, to the boy and told him, "Go to every class, stand in front and raise it up. Make sure that you go to all classes." So the boy went to the first class, he knocked, they allowed him in, he entered, he stood in front of the students, he lifted the manila paper, "I am an idiot." Students laughed, and then he proceeded to another class. Now, he went to a third class, where he did find a teacher. He was lucky, he simply moved in. He stood before students, he lifted the manila paper, reading, "I am an idiot." One of the girls shouted, "We are surprised that you have taken long to discover that. Some of us already knew." The entire class laughed. But guess what? The girl who made that statement is currently a wife to the idiot, and they have 2 kids. So when I told you that women love to marry idiots, that's what I meant. Especially if you are ready to do anything she says, and anything that makes her happy. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a long time since we last had a bank robbery in this country. I don't know when was that. When did we have a last bank robbery in this country? 2008. Somebody is saying 2008. Quite a long time. It is either that security is so serious and tight, or the thieves are becoming cowards. Can somebody with experience explain why this is happening? We need to know. Why are there no bank robberies in this country? Maybe security is tight. But there are 2 types of bank robbers, ladies and gentlemen. There are 2 types of bank robbers. There is that first category we call the risk takers. They wear the masks, pick the guns, get into the van, go to the bank, put everybody under arrest, they go to the safe, pick the money, get into their van and take off. That's the first category. Then we have another category of the banking officials. These ones are a little smart. After a bank robbery, they go to the safe to ascertain how much has been taken. When they discover that 50 million have been taken, they also take 100. So when security comes, police, they will declare 150 having been taken. That's the second category, very smart. But now that is unfair to the first category. They feel betrayed. They feel falsely accused. When they watch the news of a bank robbery claiming that 150 million were stolen, yet the niggers only scuppered away with 50. They feel a lot of unfairness. Sometimes they even feel like coming back to the public to clear the air. Maybe call a press conference and tell you guys, the truth is we never took 150. We only took 50. But they can't. They're already fugitives, they're on the run, they're in hideouts. So that's how the smart thieves, sometimes you call them intellectual thieves, benefit from such opportunities. You know, in life, you can do less and earn more, especially if you act smart. That's what is happening. The English language, ladies and gentlemen, has what we call possessive pronouns. We have possessive pronouns like his, hers, mine, ours, theirs, and so many others. It is quite unfortunate that out of all these possessive pronouns, the thieves chose to understand only one. That is mine. Everything is theirs. Everything they see is theirs. Actually, they remind me of the historical Maasai tribe. The Maasai had a belief that all the cattle in the world belonged to them. Therefore, it was their duty to capture and take home all the cattle they would find. This always threw them into hot soup with their neighbors. But that's how thieves are. They think everything belongs to them. I never believed in evolution, by the way. I never believed in evolution, but I started believing in evolution when I discovered that the thieves who used to steal during night are currently operating bravely during daytime. Now, if the thieves that used to operate at night are operating during day, that's the power of evolution. Every profession has challenges. Being a thief also has losses, just like other business professions. They also make losses. Just imagine somebody who stole, just imagine a thief who stole a village drum. A thief who stole a village drum. That's a loss. Where will you drum it from? You can't drum it in the community where you stole it from. Neither can you drum it from the neighboring community because the owners will hear the sound. That's business loss. There was a time I was taking rubbish. We had a problem where I used to stay. We used to have a problem of rubbish. We would collect rubbish for 2 weeks. Then at the end of the 2 weeks, you would carry your rubbish to the dumping place, which was almost a kilometer away. I was carrying rubbish to the rubbish pit a kilometer away one evening. Thank God that the rubbish was beautifully packed in a black cavera. I was swinging it like a valuable item. A thief came from behind and stealthily grabbed it away from me and ran at a very terrible speed. Guess what? I happily walked back home to do other things. Now, how can somebody get rubbish and run at lunatic speed? That is business loss. So when I say stealing also has losses, that's what I mean. There was another incident where somebody parked a car at an isolated place with tinted windows. When a thief saw a car parked somewhere, he saw an opportunity to go and break into the car and steal a few valuables, if any. So the nigger went and started fidgeting with the lock. While trying to fidget with the lock, meanwhile the owner of the car was inside. So he lowered the window and they looked at each other. The thief said, "Hey, boss, why are you inside your car?" So the owner of the car asked, "Where did you want me to be? Is it a crime to be inside my car?" The thief said, "Yes, it is a crime. You have interrupted a very serious exercise." So the guy ran away without stealing anything. So basically it was a wrong address. He came to a wrong address and he found a wrong valuable that could even talk. Business loss. There was a story of 3 thieves who beat security and entered a bank at night. They searched for money from all the safes, but they were so shocked they didn't find any money. There was no money in all the safes, but they could find yogurt, surprisingly. It was quite interesting. In a bank where you expect to find money, there is yogurt. Very frustrated and tired, they had no option but to enjoy the yogurt. The niggers sat down and enjoyed the yogurt. They enjoyed yogurt until they were full. You know, you can't miss 2 targets. If you have missed the money, at least don't miss the yogurt. But as they were getting out of the bank, one of them became so curious. But which kind of bank? You break into and there is no money and there is only yogurt. So when he got out, he looked at the signpost on the building. It read the Spam Bank of California. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if it read the Spam Bank of California, what were these guys enjoying? Not every bank has money. We have blood banks. Now we have spam banks. We have so many banks. So if you are not guided as a thief, chances are high that you may go to a wrong bank simply because you are obsessed with bank. It's not true. I think stealing has also a metamorphosis. Just like any other vice. You start as a petty thief, then later on you graduate into a serial thief. I was doing research at one time and I accessed a public library. While doing my research, I saw a young boy pocketing a novel from the shelf. And he was planning to go out with it. As a concerned adult, I moved very fast and I intervened. I approached the boy. He didn't expect anybody to have seen him, so he was so surprised to see somebody coming to him. So I told him, "Young man, a few years ago, there are people who came to this library before you. They used these books and they left them here. That's why you have been able to find them. They never took them out. Now you are here enjoying the privilege that the people who used this library before gave you by not taking the books. Now for you want to take one, such that those who will come after you will not find books. Why are you selfish to this extent?" boy said, "I'm really sorry, sir. I didn't know that somebody had seen me. Let me put it back." So he pulled the novel from his pocket and put it back in the shelf. One thing we must all appreciate is that when somebody comes to steal, they always forget that whatever they are taking belongs to some people. Their selfish tendency blind them to think that what they take or what they are planning to take belongs to people. But that's what happened. By the way, we have been cautioned on many occasions that once you get kissed by a thief, make sure that you count your teeth before you go. You need to ascertain if you still have all of them. Because thieves are capable of stealing even things that they cannot pronounce. That's what they can do. They can literally steal anything. I was sharing with a friend of mine from the legal fraternity. I was asking him, he who holds a ladder for the thief to climb, how would we call such a person? He said we call such a person an accomplice. I said, I think that's an understatement. Somebody who holds a ladder for the thief to climb is also a thief. Why do you choose to narrow the definition of a thief? Yet it can be wider than you think. It's like stealing from a thief. I don't know if we have religious people here. I don't know what the Bible or Quran talks about stealing from a thief. Is it also stealing? Any religious person here? What does the Bible or Quran say about stealing from a thief? Religious people need to understand it's okay. Now, me, I think stealing from a thief is not actually stealing. I would love to reason it from a corporate perspective. When you steal from a thief, that is actually giving back to community. That's not stealing. You are actually giving back to community. And there's nothing wrong with that, I think. What is wrong about collecting what was stolen and giving it to the people who are supposed to receive it? I like the way Ugandans unanimously agreed to ignore the table knives that waiters and waitresses bring when you go to restaurants. I don't know if I've noticed it alone, but the truth is, every time they bring table knives, we leave them unused and they always take them back wrapped in serviette. By the way, it is because this is not Europe, this is Africa. In Africa, we still have people who wash their hands and go live on food. Literally, they don't want any metal to come in between them and their food. So, when you bring a table knife, you are insulting them. The best they can do is maybe use a fork. But we have all agreed, unanimously, that no one will touch a table knife. There are people who used to do it, but I think they also gave up. You know, when you are the odd man out, time comes when you chill. I was told that the late Queen Elizabeth used to eat a banana with a knife and a fork. The reason was very clear. She never wanted to appear like a man while eating a banana. So that means the rest of you who eat the banana the way we eat, we stand a risk of appearing or looking like monkeys. By the way, peeling a banana and inserting it in your mouth is soon becoming illegal in this country, especially if you are in public. You spark so many imaginations in the minds of people. I think that is similar to burning in public if you are a woman. For heaven's sake, why should a woman burn in public if she's not even tying shoelaces? So it will become morally illegal. But that's how society evolves. I have a big brother who is currently becoming a relationship counselor. We had a talk last time and he was telling me that you see, it is prudent for a man to give 10,000 shillings to his woman every weekend. 10,000 shillings should be given to a woman every weekend if you are a serious man. But he went ahead to say you should be making it 200 if the woman has a farm. I thought he had stopped. He went ahead and said you should make it 300k if the balm is soft. I was waiting for the first move. Thank God he stopped there. If he's a relationship expert, it's okay, anyone can be. But I'm just thinking of which standards agents came up with these rules, the way he was communicating them to me. I know society can choose to think about what men want. I don't know if society has also gone ahead to find out what women also want. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to take this singular opportunity to inform you that even women have certain things they want. But there is one thing that all women want, and the moment they see it, they run crazy. This is 6 inches long and 3 inches wide. I even have it here in my pocket. It has words written on it, Bank of Uganda, Legal 10. You have this, you're sorted. So if you thought there is anything else that they want, shame upon you. DJ,